name is Phila Becken, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. And if you enjoy this content, please, if you can hit that subscribe button, that insanely helps me. And it's really quite like crazy how much that makes my life better. And if you like Doctor who doesn't like Doctor Who? I'm doing DVD giveaways all this month. Next 2 months, actually. I got a bunch of Doctor Who. Is it all Doctor Who? They may be a couple of things that aren't Doctor Who. DVDs I'm giving away. This is the one going out this month. Dalek War, starring Jon Pertwee from 1973. 2 stories. Frontier in Space and Planet of the Daleks. Great stories, 4 DVD box set. Great set. All you got to do to win it. The only thing you got to do is subscribe to the channel and comment with the hashtag at Dalek War. I don't think anybody's tried to win it yet. So, it could well be yours if you want it. Okay, so I have been watching Mad Men. I watch Mad Men a lot. I like watching Mad Men. And I was watching it last night, and I think it may be the third or the fourth. I think it's the third, maybe the fourth time I've watched the entire run of it. Not in one go, obviously. I take about a year to run through these things. I just love the show. I truly, genuinely love it. I adore it. Right now, I'm at the end of season 5. And there was this few-minute sequence towards the end, at the end of the episode, that I think encapsulated everything that makes me just adore this show, which is what I wanted to share with you guys today. So there will be spoilers. If you've never seen Mad Men before, there's definitely going to be spoilers. But honestly, I don't think it really matters because it is such a layered and complex show that I find the journey more important than the destination. But I will try and keep the spoilers to an absolute minimum, which will be quite heavy. Okay, so Mad Men is the story of the impossibly handsome and intelligent Don Draper, an advertising executive working in New York's Madison Avenue, which is where the show gets its name from. The Mad Men of the title are the men of Madison Avenue. This was a name they gave themselves, as they tell you in a caption at the beginning of the very first episode, I think. And it's about Don Draper's journey through the 1960s. It starts at the beginning of the 60s, goes all the way through. So where we are right now in the Mad Men continuity is that Don is in his second marriage. His first marriage, with which he has 3 children from, fell apart. Not so much because of Don's serial infidelities, and there were a lot of them, but more because some secrets that came out about Don's past. Don, you see, comes from very, very humble beginnings. His mother was a prostitute who died in childbirth, giving birth to him, and he was then given to the customer, the prostitute's customer, who fathered him to bring up, who was a very poor man who lived on a farm. So, the guy's been given this baby he doesn't want. His wife certainly doesn't want the baby as a project of his dalliance with a lady of the night, and he lives on this like dirt poor farm till he's, I think, about 8, at which point his father is killed, and he ends up living in a brothel for the rest of his adolescence until I think he's drafted and is sent to the Korean War. While he's there, he gets injured with somebody else, and their identities get switched. And Don takes on this other person's identity, so he can give himself, reinvent himself, and give himself an entirely new life. His original name was Dick Whitman, and he redefined himself, and eventually he's made himself into this very, very wealthy, incredibly valuable, extremely successful advertising creative director, because he just is very, very, very good at his job. But when his first wife discovers his humble origins, it was really that more than anything else that breaks down his marriage, particularly as she was being sort of semi-wooed at the time by a much higher class man from a very respectable family and a successful politician. So they get divorced, and Don hates being divorced. He absolutely hated being divorced, and that's how he ended up marrying his second wife, Megan. He was divorced for about a year, and his second wife he first met as his secretary, and she's much younger than him, But he genuinely loves her, and he really, really wants this marriage to work, which is pretty much defines this whole season. So this season, as I said, he really, really wants this marriage to work, and he's reformed all of his bad behavior that broke down his first marriage. He's being very honest. He's being very faithful. Now, at this point in the story, Megan desperately wants to be a successful actress. She's absolutely beautiful, and she's reasonably competent as an actress. I mean, you never see her act, but you assume she can do the job. There's no reason why she shouldn't be able to make it, but she's just is just not. She's not landing anything. It's crushing her. This change in career path for Megan has caused some quite considerable animosity from Don, because she was working with him at his advertising firm, and she took her rejection of advertising as a rejection of him. Because for Don, advertising and him are kind of indivisible. He is advertising. Advertising is Don, which I think is probably part of the show. And this has been expressed in some mild forms of passive aggressiveness throughout the season. So we're in the final episode of season 5 right now, and an actress friend of Megan's asked for her help so if she can get put up for a role in an advert that Don's company is making. But instead, Megan asked Don for herself rather than for a friend. So that was kind of wild. And then Don refuses, saying it'll be completely unprofessional, and he was kind of gruff about this. And this kind of sends Megan into a bit of a spiral. So that's the setup for this scene. So the scene is, again, as I said, it's towards the end. Don is watching Megan's showreel in his office late at night. It's a silent scene without any dialogue, but so much information is given over by Jon Hamm, the actor playing Don Draper, in just a few looks. You can see him watching his wife's showreel, and you know him so well. You can see what he's thinking, and there's this realization in his eyes that of his love for her, and that he's being cruel to her by not helping her acting career. And yeah, this is why I love Matt. We're really getting to the meat here. You can see his self revelation as well, and understanding what was stopping him do that. See, Don desperately wants this marriage to work, and he believes he can really only maintain this good behavior, this faithfulness from him, this honesty, and stay away from infidelity if Megan is totally with him. It's like they are one unit. And so that's why her rejection of working in the advertising firm was so deeply hurtful for him, because it was a rejection of him, and it torpedoed this fantasy. You know, I think he thinks that that he can maintain his good behavior and being faithful and etc. If she's like a stay-at-home wife, and he's still working. But I think he knows that if she has a successful acting career, which she probably would get with some exposure like this ad that she wants a part in is really going to help her career. So that he's worried that successful career is going to cause them to go in separate directions, which will eventually cause the marriage to fall apart. See, Don knows himself very, very well, and he knows he just knows he's going to start reverting to his old bad habits. And even if that doesn't happen, the Megan's independence that will come from a successful acting career will probably lead her to move her life in a different direction, and they'll just grow apart, causing the marriage to break down. So that's the thing that Don doesn't want most in the world. That's really his motivation. But as he's watching Megan's showreel, he sees that failing at acting will crush her, will break her, and she'll never be the woman that he loves, he fell in love with, and he married. So if that plays out, so because of his love for her, I don't think he can deny helping her, even though he knows that it will probably end up in killing their relationship and their marriage. And this was all told in a few glances. It's just unbelievable quality acting by Jon Hamm. Okay, so after that, we have this quick scene talking about their the advertising firm, their business expanding and the firm expanding, which is like a ongoing plot thread from the rest of the season. But then we cut to straight from there to the set of the commercial, and Megan's there, and she's on set, and she's being made up, and she's thanking Dom. And at that point, we hear the first orchestral strings of what's the song? You Only Live Twice start to play. The song from the James Bond movie. You only live. So you hear that, and it's one of the other great things about Mad Men. It doesn't just have an incredible depth to its substance, but it has a wonderful style that it cloaks itself in. So I think thematically, the choice of the song "You Only Live Twice," other than sounding gorgeous, it works so well. Is I think it's an exception I think it's Don accepting about himself that he is going to have this duality moving forward that having affairs essentially brings. He's going to have like a work life and a home life. He's going to have a much more dual existence, which I think there's echoed in the song choice. So in just a breathtaking, incredible shot, Don walks away from Megan towards camera, and Megan and the set that she's on recedes into the background, and the rest of the frame is black, and so and you see him walking away from Megan both physically but also thematically. It's so clever, and like every detail of it has meaning and is telling you something. Then the song "You Only Live Twice" plays over a few glimpses of the other characters finishing out their arcs from the season, and you see where they end up. And then we close that Dom with, again, the music still playing. He's at a bar, which Don is often. He likes to drink. We could quite genuinely call him an alcoholic. And he's at a bar, and there's a really fantastic moment. This woman approaches him and says, "Hi, my friend over there, who's obviously gorgeous, would like to know, are you alone?" And she asks, and the music swells and rises, and Don thinks to himself. You see smoke curling around his head from the bar, and then he looks over in like these slightly bloodshot, drunken eyes, and after contemplating, and then the music swells, and boom, fade to black. Just fantastic. Because that's really the question that I think that defines John Draper. Am I alone? Is he alone in life? Is he alone? Is he with Megan? Is he what is life? I think is a question, and I think the answer is probably that he's going to say, yes, I am alone, so I might as well go and sleep with this person, sleep with this other woman. But you don't know, and it leaves you kind of tantalized, and also makes you rush back for season 6. Yeah, and it's just. I would say it was simply beautiful. It's a simply beautiful rendered representation of like the complexities of life that people find themselves in. It's just absolutely stunning. So look, if you want to give Mad Men a try, go ahead. As you can tell, I'm quite a bit pro. I like Mad Men a lot. Just keep in mind the first season, whilst being better than most shows on TV, it's probably I think it's the weakest season. But by the time you get to the second season, it really starts to kick in. And honestly, it just gets better and better and better and better. And you just understand these people so much, which is where I think sequels come from. This show finished, 5 years ago? And I would love to see them again. I suppose that's why I rewatched it. I just love these characters. I know them so intimately well. I am the rabbi from another planet. There's a Kabbalistic concept that the root of love is knowledge. The more you know someone, the more that you know someone, the more that you truly love someone. So there's this difference between love and infatuation. So you get to know these characters so well, and I would just love to see them again. I'd love to see how they're doing and see what their lives are like. I think that's where the urge for sequels to do indeed come from. But it's almost certainly an ache that should never, ever be fulfilled. Because much like Don's addiction to infidelity, the promise is so much better than living the actuality of it. And that's why I love Mad Men. Okay, so my name's Sheila Becken, the Rabbi from Another Planet. Please like, share, subscribe, ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. And again, if you've enjoyed this content, please subscribe. Maybe you'll like some more things I do. Thanks so much, and have a great day.